Hello, everybody. Welcome to the special meeting of, Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. We will start with a roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Sandu.
Aye.
Councilmember Papineau.
Here.
Councilmember Farmer.
Here.
Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Mayor Vandenberg.
Here. Next will be silent prayer, followed by the flag salute. If you'd please join us. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry about that. May we have the replay statement, please?
This meeting of the Galt City Council will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel, on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. The meeting is closed caption and webcast at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Friday, August 4th at 9 a.m. and Saturday, August 5th at 9 a.m. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14.
Thank you. Next is agenda approvals, additions and/or deletions. Is there anything from the council? Seeing none, we move on to presentations. With there are none, so next is public comment. Madam Clerk, please.
Under Government Code Section 54954.3, public comments at a special meeting may only relate to any matter described on the special meeting agenda at the time the matter is discussed. General public comments for items not listed on the agenda is prohibited. Please limit live comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Consistent with the City Council procedural guidelines, the mayor reserves the right to shorten the time limit for speakers to ensure the efficient and timely completion for all city business on the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next is reports by city council members on regional boards, commissions, and committees. Vice Mayor?
Nothing to report this evening, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Papineau?
I don't have anything today either.
Thank you. Councilman Farmer?
Just one thing, I had a Sacramento Library Commission meeting on Thursday last week, and it was a fairly short meeting, but I just want to bring up one thing I thought was fairly interesting. They talked about checkouts through the library and library cards, some people signing up for library cards and such, post COVID, the post-COVID world that we're in now. And they were saying, and this is generally for the Sacramento region is what we're talking about, but it's obviously Sac County. I don't know if this is specific to each branch, but generally speaking, they were saying that library card signups are like up 60%, and checkouts were up like 50%. So I just kind of thought it was fascinating, and I don't know why. We kind of talked a little bit, but anyways, this is good news. And then we talked about some other things, but generally just wanted to share that with you guys. So that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lozano?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. I have nothing to report as well. Now we move on to information and consent calendar. Is there any public comment for the consent calendar?
No public comment.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. It is recommended that items 1 through 4 be acted on simultaneously unless separate discussion and/or action is requested by a council member. Is there any such request?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions on a couple items that I needed to ask. F3 and F4? Is 4 I'm sorry, which one is the pallet contract? 4? Okay, so F3 and 4, please, Mayor.
Okay, so we will pull F3 and F4. Having said that, I am looking to a motion to receive a file warrant for a period ending July 20th, 2023, and the minutes of the regular meeting July 18th, 2023. So moved by the mayor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the vice mayor. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Vice Mayor Sandu.
Aye.
Councilmember Papineau.
Aye.
Councilmember Farmer.
Aye.
Councilmember Lozano.
Aye.
Mayor Vandenberg.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Next, we will
discuss request for certificate of appropriateness to demolish the structure at 127 2nd Street.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to first thank Craig for, at a phone call from him, asking me if I had any questions regarding this item because, it's an old structure and, he figured that there was maybe some questions. And so I only pulled this item, not really, I think he was very clear about the inspection of the property. I just want the public to know, and again, I want to approve this without this being public knowledge, that that this particular discussion did go through the Historic Preservation Committee. It was a discussion about that. They are going to allow the Historical Society to have access to the interior to take any photographs or document anything prior to the demolition, and any materials from the building deemed historic or whatever, regardless, the property owner has agreed to let the Historical Society have any of these materials. Is all that correct? Craig?
That is correct.
Okay. And I know that although this, was talked about, this old structure was historic and this and that, but it's really in an awkward spot. It's very unsafe. There's an apartment complex that it's right next to. There's been instances where we had a homeless person in there, started a fire, and the property owner came to me, honestly, a couple of years ago, was saying, hey, I need to do something. I can't, this is a really huge liability for me. And so I'm glad this has finally come to us. But I just wanted to say, just for public, anybody's watching the meeting, whatever, that this is not something we just said, yeah, let's just tear it down. There was actually a thought went into this, discussion with property owner, discussion with Historical Society, and people that would be potentially upset with this and whatever, and there was a consent that this was the appropriate action. Is that not?
That's correct.
Okay.
As well as the Historic Preservation Committee, they did a site visit. They looked at the structure.
They did a field trip out there?
Right.
Okay. All right, well, that's all I had. I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, Councilman Farmer. That's appreciated. Councilman Lozano? No. Nothing else from the council? With that, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the request for certificate of appropriateness to demolish the structure at 127 2nd Street exempt from CEQA under section 15301, demolition of existing structure. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Farmer, seconded by the mayor. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Vice Mayor Sandu.
Aye.
Councilmember Papineau.
Aye.
Councilmember Farmer.
Aye.
Councilmember Lozano.
Aye.
Mayor Vandenberg.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, everyone. Next is Third Amendment to 2018 Agreement with A&T Pallet for lease of property located at 13050 and 13070 West Stockton Boulevard in the city of Galt. Councilman Farmer?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I just had a couple questions for Mike. Mike, thank you for sending this contract over. I just having trouble with my email, and I had just now able to look it up a few minutes before the meeting. So my understanding, this is just a one-year extension. It expired in March, so this one-year extension just takes it into March of next year?
That's correct, Councilmember, yes. We're playing a bit of catch-up here. We had the storms in January, February. Otherwise, we would have probably been more timely in bringing this item to the council. But unfortunately, it kind of got pushed to a lower priority, and that's why we're here now, so.
So technically, we're really just looking at like an 8-month, because we're only going to March, right?
Correct.
So my only question is, is it worth staff going through the motions of, in legal, whatever, to renew this for just 8 months? Or is it not that big a deal?
I'm going to look to the city attorney. I think we have the option either way. We're essentially under a month-to-month right now is how, essentially the law goes as far as leases. Once they've passed the term, it typically defaults to a month-to-month unless, the tenant advises to vacate, they're going to vacate, or the owner gives notice for the tenant to vacate.
So, obviously, we bought the property for the overpass project, and I don't know how long it'll be before we ever even use it, but I don't want to lose that revenue, but at the same time, I just, so the options here, I'm looking at the staff report, so our other options would be go out and look and see if anybody else is interested and put it on the market, renew the lease and look around, or, right? What are,
Yeah, I would say basically, staff's options to the council would be, if you wanted to give direction, would be, if you didn't want to approve this, this lease now, that we could go ahead and put it out to bid and see if we get a higher bid. In the meantime, the existing tenant would remain there until we give notice to vacate, maybe predicated on whatever bids we get. Or we could give notice to the tenant to vacate and essentially go through that same process. But as you noted, there would probably be a period of, a lack of revenue.
yeah. So if we approve this tonight, will this be coming back to council on or about March of next year again for further direction?
I would expect it would be coming probably in the, a month or two prior kind of thing. So just to get essentially whatever direction or approval from council that it's going to go forward, and then we would need to give proper notice to the existing tenant if they were not the high bidder, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just was wondering, it seems so short to do it, then have to do it again in March. So I just want to make sure we weren't doing a lot of work to repeat. So I guess that's all the questions I have, Mike. So
What I would point out is if we don't do this, essentially this includes a 5% increase. So my understanding, and council can correct me if I'm wrong, but if we don't do this lease extension now, we would be at the old rate, so 5% less. So
okay, that makes good sense. Okay. All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate the answers.
sure.
Thank you,
That's all I have,
Councilman
Mr.
Farmer. Is there any other question by the council? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve a third amendment to the 2018 agreement with A&T Pallets for lease of property located at 13050, 13070 West Stockton Boulevard in the city of Galt. Do I have a motion? Moved by Councilman Lozano, seconded by the mayor. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Vice Mayor Sandu?
Aye.
Councilmember Papineau?
Aye.
Councilmember Farmer?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Aye.
Mayor Vandenberg?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. There are no scheduled matters of public hearing. Move on to the regular calendar. City Council subject, Commission on Aging appointment.
So this is for Councilmember Papineau to appoint a community member to the Commission on Aging to fill a vacant position with a term ending December 2024. The city clerk's office posted the vacancy on social media and on the city's website. One application was received from Joan Werblin, who meets the required qualifications, and the vacancy is due to the resignation of previous Commissioner Robert Ballier.
So to say that it meets the qualifications is an understatement. Upon reviewing this, and I'm sure the rest of the council has had a chance to read it, it'd be hard to write an experience background better suited to knowledge of resources that are available in making sure of the wellness of the seniors in our community. So I am more than pleased to appoint Joan to this position. And I believe she might be here, and if you'd like to come down, if you have a few words, that'd be great.
Thank you, sir.
You can come right over here by the podium. Well,
No.
wouldn't call it
No
a speech, but
No speeches.
I would just like to thank you for this honor. I do bring a lot of experience to the council, mostly with my current position as chair of two. One is a statewide, the other is nationwide committees, and we work with seniors. We are the contract holders for the largest group. We have 9 contracts now for the MSSP program, which is the Multiple Senior Services Program, which is a state-run program. And it's to ensure the safety of seniors who are aging in their own homes or in apartment complexes or senior living situations. And we have 150 employees right now. Our employees for the MSSP program are all master's prepared nurses. Some have PhDs. And we have all social workers that are master's prepared, and some are actually LCSW, so they can actually do therapy. And our goal is to ensure that seniors are able to live in a safe place, whether it be board and care, their own home, an apartment complex, wherever they choose to live if possible. And I would like to see that continue. I have some personal experiences when my mother was living here before she died, of some of the conditions of board and care places. And it all takes place behind closed doors. And seniors are very reluctant because they don't want to be removed from where they're living. They don't want to be homeless, and they won't tell you. But I think I have the skills to get some of that information, and certainly some connections up the road to deal with it. So I look forward to it. It's a challenge.
Certainly,
Go ahead, sir.
certainly appreciate you being willing to take this on, and I think that the council can be confident that we have some good advice to rely on here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much for applying and putting your skills to good work in our community. It's very much appreciated.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Joan, I just want to say thank you as well. And it's happy to hear some of the experience you have, because I think we have some situations going on in town that your expertise could be very useful, I think. So thank you.
I look forward to helping.
I just want to thank you as well, and I know you're getting up to speed on all the issues that seniors are having here in our community, and have been involved in some conversations along those lines the last several months. So
Yeah.
thanks for your willingness to serve, and we know you'll be a benefit.
All of you will be hearing from me. I'm not shy.
Good.
If there's a problem in your area, you'll know about it.
There's a public comment.
Yes, there's a public comment.
Thank you.
Phyllis?
I'm Phyllis Johnson. I'm a fellow commissioner, and I want to thank you for taking it on, and I'd like to welcome you with a hug, if you don't mind.
Oh, I would love it.
I'm Phyllis Johnson. Welcome aboard. And thank you.
You're very welcome, Phyllis. Thank you for being so enthusiastic.
I'm finished now. I can.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll let you off the hook for now.
Thank you. You let me off. Thank you.
And
We're not going to put you to work. Okay. Thank you very much.
And correct me if I'm wrong, since it's Mr. Pompanel's appointment, there's no vote necessary or expected. So with that, we will thank you, everybody. We will move on to the Treasury's Office, Treasurer's Report for a period of June 2023. Mr. Farrell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. Before you, you have the Treasurer's Report for June 2023. Before we get into that, I'll just kind of give a quick economic update like I normally do. The unemployment rate for the city of Galt is, according to EDD, is 5%. The county percentage is 4.5%, so it's somewhat in line. Okay. I can also tell you that there were 14 homes that sold during the month of June, and the median price was $500,000. The average price was $517,352. I do have some statistics, very brief, for July. First 27 days in July, the median price was $530,000. And this is what's surprising. The average price was $617,000. So you had some higher end and some very lower end. Okay? So with that, that's, as we all know, the Federal Reserve raised their interest rate once again last week. And for people who are buying homes, that's not necessarily good, because then that means they have to pay more as far as a higher interest rate on their mortgage. For those who are investors, that is good. And I'll give you an example, as a matter of fact. Last year, literally on August the 2nd, 2022, I bought a 1-year
Treasury bill, okay? And I received, at the time, a really good rate of 2.75, okay? Now, 1 year later, 2023, so that just matured actually yesterday. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna re-up it for another 1 year Treasury, and I'm gonna get 5.38%. So that just shows what a difference a year makes as far as, you know, how much the interest rates have risen. And as I normally do when I give June results, I always give the results as far as how much interest the city of Galt earned during the past fiscal year. Now, last year at this time, when I was here, I estimated we would earn somewhere between $800,000 to $1 million in interest. Well, of course, that's when interest rates were 2.75. They've gone up, as you know, and so our total for the fiscal year was $1,829,774.72. Now, I always caveat that with that the pool that we invest with has about 52 different accounts in it, what I call sub-accounts. And so that 1.8 million gets dispersed depending on how much money is in from each account. But, I mean, that's a very good year. And, you know, this new fiscal year, I expect more. And I think it'll break a City of Galt record, actually. So, with that, I have, if you want to ask me any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, sure, Sean, I have a question.
I figured you would.
I love your reports, they're fascinating. So just a quick, I mean, I would think that the spike in interest rates being so high that it's taking a lot of buyers out of the equation, right? Because they can't afford to borrow a 30-year mortgage at 7%. I've heard it's like over 7 right now for average for a 30-year. But yet the prices seem to be climbing still. What do you make of that?
I wish we had a realtor. Actually, the prices I think are stable or just slightly, very slightly down. The statistics I actually gave you in June, okay, for the June numbers where the 14 homes closed, I can tell you this, that there was a premium actually paid on those. People paid above list price, just slightly, okay?
That doesn't mean, that's weird. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, it's supply and demand, you know? I mean, when you only have 14 homes selling, there can't be that much of a supply, right?
Yeah.
And people, you know, they don't want to get out of their homes because they locked in at a low interest rate. Well, now, if they were going to sell that, yeah, they're going to get a little bit premium, but now they got to buy a home with a much higher interest rate.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That makes sense. People who are
Yeah.
in current mortgages not want to relinquish that and move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that insight. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Sean, thank you for the report. Just very quick, not a question, just information. And you said 5.38, you put the money for 1 year, right?
That's correct.
This was with the one bank or different bank? Or?
Well, what I'm gonna do is buy a United States Treasury note with it. So it's not any bank. It's the Bank of the United States government. How about that? But I mean, but you bring up a good point. On July the 8th, okay, so this is past the June report, we had a certificate of deposit that matured at Farmers and Merchants Bank. Now, as you all know, we try to invest locally and try to invest in Farmers and Merchants. That CD was for $4.5 million, okay? And that was at a rate of 4.25, all right? So what I did, just again, trying to keep the money local, so the money's available and whenever anybody wants to borrow from it, I recommitted that $4.5 million for 18 months, okay? And the rate is, I received 5%. Now you say, well, gosh, you can get a Treasury bill for 5.38, but you can get, why'd you sign up for 18 months at 5? The reason is because we have an inverted yield curve. So in other words, if I went out on the Treasury yield curve, 5% would be about the rate for 18 months.
Thank you.
Okay? And that money is collateralized, which means Farmers and Merchants has to put up securities at a independent third-party safekeeper to make sure in case something happens, we still have our funds available to us.
Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other questions by the council? Seeing none, I would look for a motion to accept the treasurer's report as submitted. First by the mayor, do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Councilman Pompano. May I have a roll call? Oh, wait, sorry. Is there any public comment on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, there's no public comment, so may I have a roll call vote, please?
Vice Mayor Sandu?
Aye.
Councilmember Papineau?
Aye.
Councilmember Farmer?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Aye.
Mayor Vandenberg?
Aye, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Next is communications.
None.
City clerk's report.
Nothing.
Comments by staff.
Just a couple of quick comments tonight. Just a reminder that it is National Night Out tonight, hosted by the Galt PD, so we hope to see everyone there. Secondly, we are having our third Cannabis Public Forum on Tuesday, August 22nd, 6 p.m. at the Galt PD. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Comments by city council members and future agenda items, Vice Mayor Sandu.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the staff. Thank you for the public member. They joined this meeting. And thank you for everybody. And we will join this evening for National Night Out. Thank you, Police Department, making that arrangement. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Pompano?
I don't have anything.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Farmer?
Nothing, just hopefully people come out tonight and have a good time, and I look forward to seeing everybody at the parks. So that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Lozano? Nope. Nothing from Councilman Lozano. I have nothing as well. I hope to see everybody in a few minutes, I guess, in an hour or so at the 3 locations. And have a good day. With that, we end the meeting at 3:27 p.m.